16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, taught us all this 100% truth, man. If you Akim and Akwafia listening and learning, Shalom to you. You cancel the likewise doctrine is Great Millstone, Shalom as well. And salutations to the hopeful elect, man. Romans 16 and 17 once again. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. And the reason why I bring this scripture out is because it's been several videos, of IUIC talking about what the mark is, saying that the mark is sin, or they saying that the mark is basically buying, selling, and trading. And we trying to tell people that that's going off, man. Because first of all, if the mark was sin, first and foremost, we had the mark a long time. Because, hey, we in sin right now. Like, not willingly, but we in these fleshly bodies, So, a brother can fall off. We've been and had the mark then in that case. So it's definitely not sin itself. It's a sin to get it, because once you get it, you are finished. It is a sin to get it, but it is not sin itself, And buying and selling, it's not that either. But it's going to have something to do with that. Is we constantly telling y'all out there that this is going to be a physical thing, man. And I'm gonna go to Revelation 13, and I'm gonna bring that scripture up. I'm gonna just go into a couple of the little words, that goes into it, like charagma, grapho. I'm gonna go on a couple of these words, and it's another word out there that I heard Elder Apostle Tahar go into many times, and I'm gonna just, I'm gonna touch on that word a little bit as well, a little bit down the line in this video. And I hope this is edifying, because we gotta get it. We gotta put an end to that doctrine that they spit out, that vomit, that they saying that the mark is not a physical thing. But according to the etymology of those words, a mark was definitely a physical thing, man. And it's gonna be a physical thing in this time. When this devil start pushing out the sea hip, that rice, right? You gonna understand at that point then that, hey, this ain't a game. They was telling the truth the whole time. It's actually a mark in your hand, a true physical thing, man. It's not spiritual. I'm gonna get Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Y'all know that they got brain C hips, and they got C hips that can go in your hands. You see? Let me go and go here, going to show a couple of pictures of this thing, if Google give them to me. Like this. That's why I call it that rice. These things that's going around in the world, in the world right now, is places where people have these in their hands. And then you also, let's do this as well. Let's do this as well. If they give me something for it. But in reality, they show these things in movies. Like think about I think the movie Black Mirror. I think that's what it's called. But look, they got these things and they put them in your head as well. You know. So this thing is going to be a physical mark, man. At the end of the day. Let's go back over here. Salakia. Revelations 13:16, and he called them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when you go in here, you got a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the bondage of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, a thing carved or sculpted in graven work or idolatrous images, you know. And you go to I looked at the graven, right? And it talks about like engraving work, getting stuff put on your skin, or you could take like a sickle and the tablet and you can hammer words into it. That's graven work, man. Let me see. Goes into sculpting too. A graving idol, graving image. Look at this. Cut into a desired shape, made for or formed by graving. Let me see what else this guy here. I'm just going into the certain little. Not trying to be too deep or nothing. I'm just trying to show people that, hey, you need to look into these words, man. Cut or impressed into a surface. Let me ask y'all something. When people go out here and get tattoos, right? Isn't that labeled engraven work? That's a graven image, right? That little needle on that tattoo gun going at a rapid speed in and out the surface of your skin. That's graven work, man. That's graven work. Let's see. Let me see something. Here are more detailed breakdown. Old English graphing. It goes into grapho. Let me show you before I get to that. Because you see right here it has a scratch or an etching or a stamp as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure, graven mark. You go here. You got Karoks. But I'm going to skip past the Karoks and go, there's grapho right there. That's the same word you see in the etymology. The word graven comes from Old English, specifically from the past principle graphin, or the word graphan, meaning to dig, engrave, or carve. This verb is related to other Germanic languages like Old Norse and Old Frisian, ultimately derived from the Proto-Germanic. Graphin, to dig, engrave, or carve. Let's see what else it has here. Let's see. To engrave it, graven. Let's see what that brings out. To sculpt, carve, past principle, adjective, graven, grave, to dig up. Not that. I saw something else a few seconds ago, though. It has something right here. Carve, chisel. You remember when I was talking about taking a chisel and getting like a tablet or something like they did in the old days? And they used a mallet and they carved words into tablets. That's how they was used. That's how they was doing graving work back then. But now you have tattoo guns with that needle, and you get graving work done on your body. Let me see. See, this is graving work. Your skin, you get etchings on your skin to get this stuff in, to get that ink in your skin for it to bring out these images, man. This is graving work right here. This is what grapho is. This is part of grapho, right? Grapho, to grave, especially to write. Figuratively, to describe, write, to write with reference to the form of the letters on a tablet, like I was saying, parchment paper or other material like your skin, to write with references to the contents of the writings, to express in written characters. Isn't these tattoos put on people for them to express themselves through art? Right? They express themselves through art with this. To commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Write down, record, and record as well. When they start sending out these C-hips, man, it's gonna record all the data about you. It's gonna record everything about you, what you do, how you do it, your likes and dislikes. This thing is gonna be able to download all the data in your body into a database. Your banking stubs, your illnesses, all these different things, man. You know? To write, to one, be right, to by writing in a written epistle to give information. This thing is going to have all your information on it, you know? It's going to have all of that. A pill, a stake, a palisade, right? Let me go there. A palisade is like little pointy tips, like this picket fence you see here with them points on the tip of it. All these, they had them in the old times too when they put fortification around their castles and stuff like this. These them little pointy tips like that. Those pointy tips can also into these. These are also known as little palisades, but they call them needles today. You know, these right here. And these, not these type of needles, but it got fatter needles that chip or that rice can fit through. They can puncture your skin with these and put that rice right through that needle into your hand, man. You know, and that's what they want. They want to brand the people as slaves. You know, you become a slave when you take this rice. You see? And that's what it's really going into. It's going into a palisade or a needle. That's what's gonna get put in. That's what's gonna get put in the people, man. Let me see. Modern word forming element meaning instrument for recording. That which writes, marks, or describes something written, from Greek graphos. You see that? Writing, writer, as in autographos, like an autograph. Written with one's own hand. From graphe, written, the art of writing. A writing from grapheme, to write, expressed by written characters. Earlier, to draw, represent by lines drawn. Adopted widely Dutch graph, German graph, French graphe, Spanish grapho, related grapher, graphic, graphical. You see? So that's what that's all it's going into that. Eventually, Esau is going to push out this rice, right? And it's going to take it to be grafted into your skin. They're going to have to take a needle and put that rice in there. And they're going to stick you, man. And they're going to put it right in your hand. And in some cases, people, like the scripture say, you might get it in your head too. You know? And IUIC, they keep pushing that it's just sin or it's not a physical mark. That it's a spiritual mark or it's either buying or selling. And it's not, man. Look at this. And go back some. In 1 second. Okay. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, man. And when you go into that 306, right, you see that Chi-Psi stigma. Chi-Psi stigma, right? And you got the word stigma. You see this, right? A mark pricked. Pricked. What does pricked mean? You see that? Make a small hole in something with a sharp point, pierced slightly. You see this? A puncture, a stab, a rupture, a little nick or slit, a spike, a jab. You see that? It's not rocket science, man. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body to ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And they were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. See, it was people doing this to even worship their false idols, man. And when you let Esau put this in your skin, you idolizing him as a god over you, man. And you people don't understand that. Let me see what else I can get out of there. Hold on. Stigma, mark, made on the skin by burning with a hot iron. Stigma, plural, stigmata, from Greek stigma, genitive stigmatos, mark of a pointed instrument, puncture, tattoo mark, brand, which is related to Stinson, to mark, tattoo. See, it's already a lot of people walking around with a stigma because it goes into grapho, being putting marks on your skin. But this particular mark, this C-hip, that's going to go into your skin, that's going to have everything about you written on it. That's what the scriptures is talking about. IUIC is just going off. And I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to lie. I'm tired of it. And I hope this was edifying, you know. Just going to these words and see how it all links back up to the scriptures, man. You know? I was let me see something. Let me see. What was I thinking about? Oh, Salakia. I seen the scripture right here. Galatians 6:17. It says, "For henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man." And then when you go, and this is spiritual. He says he bear in his body the marks of the Son of Yahweh Shai. And what happened to Yahweh Shai? They stuck him with a spear. They marked his body up with scars, man. You know, when you go to this marks, it goes right back into stigma. Didn't they not prick Yahweh Shai in his side with a spear? It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. You see that? And they marked Yahweh Shai's body up with whips and with that spear, man. When they stuck him in his side. That's called a stigma. And a stigma is you getting a puncture in your skin. When you get a shot in your arm at the doctor, that's a stigma. It goes into the same thing, man. Same thing. I'm just going into some of these words. Nothing too deep, you know. And when they call it branding, which is when you burn something in your skin, you know, but it's still graven work. It's still graven work, no matter how you look at it. You know, graven work. Let me see something. They'll give me some shit like this. Not talking about no Fortnite. See, I didn't even know that guy even existed. Yeah, they trying to do that. Trying to put this dang old video game BS in here. But it doesn't. Okay, let me see this. These are graven images. Tattoos are graven images. Being stuck with a needle in your skin is pretty much graven because you have a mark. You have a little scar after that. Eventually the scar will go away. But when you take the needle out, you do have a scar. That's an image in your skin that was made by that needle. Just like a tattoo needle. And it all is going to fall back on that M.O.T.B. It's going to go all back on the M.O.T.B, man. So why IUIC talking about it's not going to be a C-hip in your hand. That's literally what it's going to be. It's going to literally be a C-hip in your hand. You know, and with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rukakadash. Until next time, Shalom.